I already know it. I know we about to shine, cause we already glowing. To get all this.
Welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an instant classic.
And your
Everyone to punch Jim Cornette in the face repeatedly until he bleeds because he's stupid. We'll see you on the Dippity Dippity. Oh yeah.
All right, guys, we're talking Bound for Glory. 2016 just happened last night. I enjoyed it overall. I thought it was a good show. I think the only thing you can really take away from it negatively, one thing, the couple of things I didn't like, I wasn't the biggest fan of Maria versus Gail Kim. I just didn't think it was long enough for that to kind of be the final point of that feud. And two, and this has always just been a me thing. I didn't like that there was really nothing that was changed about this. I think the setup was a little bit changed. The stage was changed, but they didn't change the ring skirts or anything. They didn't change the canvas. They didn't change really anything to make me notice as a casual fan, hypothetically speaking. Make us notice that, hey, this is something different. This is Bound for Glory. And that was kind of my only thing, my only gripes. But overall, I enjoyed the show. I think what they lacked in making the stage making the show feel any bigger, I think they made up with entrances tonight, in my opinion, because they had some really good entrances. But overall, Rabid, what'd you think of the show?
I personally, I like the show. It was entertaining. It stayed a normal pace. Wasn't no unnecessary stuff going on. I liked it. It was entertaining. I mean.
All right, and I forgot to let you guys know that I'm joined by Rabid and Rabid Jones, Rabid Jones, from TNA Talks, and also joins my co-host Casey, who joins me for almost everything, if not everything. Casey, overall thoughts on the show? I know we kind of talked about it, in bits and pieces, but any overall thoughts?
I am your co-host, so I'm pretty much here for everything,
Unless you just leave randomly, like you do sometimes, just leave. Don't tell me where you're going, and then I'm just saying, this is what you do. This is what you do.
Anyway, I like the show. It was good. Kind of like I said a little bit last night in the chaos of that review. I don't think, to me, it wasn't like a 10. I would still rate it like an 8.5. Just for me, when I go into a pay-per-view like this, like Bound for Glory, WrestleMania, whatever, I expect to kind of be like blown away and like, oh my God, walking away from it like that was amazing. I just found myself walking away from it like, okay, that was a good show, but there wasn't anything like, I didn't think groundbreaking for me. But
I think to a certain degree, though, it's a little bit hard for TNA to do because
they're going
TNA, by all rumors and accounts, you could say that, but I think too, it's hard for TNA to do because they weekly they put on a consistent show, and the biggest difference to me between watching a Ring of Honor pay-per-view and a TNA pay-per-view is the crowd. I think, in my opinion, the crowd plays one of the most important roles, and you don't really think about it. If you don't feel like the crowd are getting into the match, you won't really get into the match. It can be match of the night, match of the year, but you won't get into it because you pay more attention to the crowd to a certain degree at times than you do to the actual in-ring action. I feel like because I found myself doing it. I found myself today because I rewatched the show. I found myself today watching the show, and I was still into it, but there were some matches that I couldn't really get into because the crowd wasn't as into it. And that I don't know if that's just a me thing or if that's just I just think that's kind of how wrestling fans are. Any thoughts on that before we jump into the X Division Championship match of the world?
I mean, yeah, I think it's kind of like that with everything to an extent. I mean, if you're watching a football game and the crowd really isn't into it, and like half the fans are, gone by like halftime, you're not going to be into the game. Same with wrestling, but I don't know. The fans were definitely into it. It was a good show. I expected more of like wow moments, like maybe an unexpected, debut or return or something. I mean, we had a debut with Cody, but we expected it. It wasn't like something like, oh my God. But I don't know. It was a good show. It was just there wasn't any.
I can see your point. Yeah, I see your point. I definitely see your point. Rabbit, any thoughts before we jump into the X Division Championship match?
I mean, for casual fans, not just somebody that's looking into it. Like you two, y'all like wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Professors. Everybody else is like a casual fan looking at it. And then people pop up like Cody Rhodes. That's something different. You know what I'm saying? They don't know that was about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do, but the normal person don't. Just clicking the channel and you hear Rhodes, like, is that Rhodes? Is that, you know what I'm saying? They start thinking, is that Dusty Rhodes? You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. Into it like that. So I think the crowd was in it a lot. Scream TNA on almost all the matches. This shit is awesome. They was in it. I don't know. Maybe we watch something different,
I just noticed it in like a couple of matches, because I felt like I couldn't tell if in the Maria versus Gail Kim match they were into it or not. I knew they were into it at the end. But during the match I couldn't really tell. But let's jump into it. We got the start of the show, which was DJZ versus Trevor Lee for the X Division Championship. Shout out to the commentary for kind of promoting this match, because obviously I think they were probably going to go with an Eddie Edwards involvement in this match at first, and then Drew Galloway got hurt, so they had to figure out what to do with that. But I definitely enjoyed the match. DJZ versus Trevor Lee. They have a history with each other, as the commentators stated. I enjoyed the match. I feel like they did all they could do, and I also feel like they put out some new moves, which was nice, and that's always what I want to see on a pay-per-view, especially in a big title match. I want to see something different. These guys got a history together, so it makes a lot of sense for them to pull out something that the other person hasn't really seen, and in fact the fans haven't seen as well. I love the backflip into the German suplex. I thought that was amazing. And then DJZ, he pulled out a couple of new moves too, which I really liked. But I just enjoyed the match overall. I just thought it was a good way to start the show. It being kind of a high flying affair, always a great way to start the show. And I just enjoyed it. DJZ retains the X Division Championship. I really just want now for the X Division in general. I just want to see a good long feud or a good like medium length feud. Just over that title, because I feel like for the longest time, like it's kind of like wrestling, which is fine. But in order to get especially the casual fan into it, it's more than that. In my opinion, I feel like it's more than that if you're gonna appeal to the casual fan too, and a little bit of me. Appeal to me, I like a good storyline too every once in a while. But Rabbit, thoughts on the X Division Championship match?
I love this match right here. This match right here was one of the reasons why I watched TNA. It was fast-paced, innovative, and it was crisp. And both of them was crisp. DJZ, you already know I love DJZ. I told you it was his time from the start. And that's what I wanted to see from him. Man, he was doing stuff in his ring. This is what I'm talking about. I love this dude right here, DJZ. The flapjack he was doing, the Hurricane Rada, and then he was doing it with fluid motion. With a normal person flipping around like that, then going to the Hurricane Rana, man, you're going to hurt yourself trying to hurt somebody else trying to do that.
Yeah, that reverse Hurricane Rana. That
Man, springboard up, man, he's vicious. Man. But the main man Lee, he's nice too. Now I can't take nothing away from him. I want to see more of him too, because he did a reverse slam in that joint that was nice. He had some stiff strikes in there, and he just need a personality, more of a personality. And I want to see those two right there have a feud where you see more innovation between both of them. Really, but I mean, I love DJ Lee, but I like I think his name Lee, right? I like
Trevor Lee. Yeah.
Lee, I like him. I like him a lot, man. He's innovative too. So to keep these two in the feud will be money, because you can't lose. The only problem is Lee don't have a real personality, and DJ Z personality is young. It ain't really blossomed yet. But other than that, a feud will help both of them with that. And I think these two right here, you got to keep these two going at it. You have to. I love this match. This is almost a 5-star match for me, man. Because I'm talking about no botching. And then the moves that they doing, you expecting somebody to botch something. So there was no botching between these two with the extreme amount of the moves they was doing was just off the meters for me, son. I love this match right here. I love it. I love DJ Z too. That's my man.
All right. Casey, thoughts on the X Division Championship match of the world?
Well, first of all, I have to touch on Trevor Lee and his lack of character. I feel like, first of all, he's one of those guys that isn't necessarily going to get a character or a personality. And I'm one of the fans that thinks you don't necessarily, if you're good enough, you don't necessarily need a real personality or anything like that. I mean, look at, I'm not supposed to say this name ever, in life, but Chris Benoit didn't really have much of a personality or, character, but he was a phenomenal wrestler. And there's been a lot of guys like that in the past that didn't necessarily have personalities or, really developed characters, but they were phenomenal in the ring. And I think Trevor Lee might be one of those guys. I mean, he might, develop a character. We haven't seen that much of him. I've just seen some of his indie stuff before this. So I don't know, but I don't know. As for the match, I thought it was a great match. The only negative I would say is just what I say with every big TNA pay-per-view. I want an Ultimate X match. Because, especially Bound for Glory, like I said in the review last night, the Ultimate match is one of the innovative matches that helped build the TNA to what it's become. And I feel like we don't get that match anymore, and I think we should, especially for your Bound for Glory, which is essentially their sort of version of WrestleMania. And then it gives other guys a chance to have that big match experience that there's guys that may not necessarily win, like freaking Mandrews never wins, but it gives them that chance to have that big match, have that, a lot more people be able to see them. There might be people who did buy the pay-per-view who don't necessarily watch, the weekly show. And they might have watched it just to say, okay, let's see what TNA has. Show them more, give more guys a chance to have a match on Bound for Glory. And I think a match like Ultimate X would do that. And it gets people to buy if you promote an Ultimate X match, people are going to buy the pay-per-view. I mean, there's matches like that people are just going to buy just to see, what happens. Who's gonna climb to the top of the structure and jump off? Like, who's gonna do some crazy, spot or something like that? That was my only thing I would change about it. But it was definitely a good match. They work really well together.
All right. Rabbit, did you have any more thoughts? I could read it.
Trevor Lee.
I could read your thoughts.
No, what I'm saying, well, about Trevor Lee and the character, I want to see him and DJ Lee have a feud. But you can't have a feud if you don't have a character. So you got to get on the mic eventually. So either you have a manager that talks for him, or
He had one, but he disappeared.
He's got the missing Gregory Helms, Hera Helms.
because Chris Benoit, which is the top 5 wrestler of all time in my perspective, Chris Benoit, he didn't have a character, but he was always in some type of group, or Horsemen, or he just was in something where somebody was talking, where all he had to do was just go out there and chop you half to death. You know what I'm saying? So, and then when you say when they put in the X Division title match, when you got the Grand Championship going on, you got the Knockouts Championship, you got the Heavyweight Championship. That's a lot of championships going on, and the Tag Team Championship. Put in a X Division match in it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, one of those. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you want to mix it up in there. I think you might want to say that for another pay-per-view, or maybe.
I think maybe when you think about it, there may have been like maybe too many stipulation matches to add in an Ultimate X match, because there were a lot of stipulation matches tonight. We had Noah Holds Barred, The Great War was another one. Yeah, that's a stipulation within itself. Yeah. So, I mean, and also, I mean, last year they started out the show with an Ultimate X match, Bound for Glory, the exact same show. So maybe they were trying to not go the exact same route as they went last year, too.
Yeah, and you want that one-on-one type of thing.
But next we got the Bound for Gold Gauntlet match, which actually I didn't hate as much as other people may have hated. I liked the Gauntlet match. I just didn't like that it wasn't pin and give up or pin and submission at the end of the match. But I mean, I didn't think it was a bad match. I love the storytelling from Rockstar Spud. He's just hilarious. He was trying to work with Tyrus, which was just so hilarious. He had me cracking up on that. And you know, I like that the bromance they got a nice long-standing chance in this match. But it was funny because I don't know if we caught it last night, but Grado did actually get eliminated. I think last night we just happened to see him walk down and then walk back, but he walked in. He got thrown over the rope, and then he just walked out the same way, was what it was. So that was pretty hilarious to watch Grado just like shake it off a little bit, I guess. But I just enjoyed the match. Eli Drake got the win, which is great. And I'm wondering, is Eli Drake going to be the guy to finally dethrone Lashley? Because I think Lashley has become such a dominant champion within himself that in order for him to be beaten, I think there's gonna have to be a little bit of cash-in worthy there. Now, I get it that the Bound for Gold Gauntlet winner has to give a week in advance, but let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that somebody's, you know, Lashley's in this big feud with I'm trying to think of who would be next. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but let's just say Lashley's in this big feud, and he has a 6 Sides of Steel match with someone, and Eli Drake knows this 6 Sides of Steel match is next week. He says, Lashley, I'm going to cash in my Bound for Gold Gauntlet match next week after your 6 Sides of Steel match. And then he somehow, you know, gets a title off of him that way. I could see them going that route, especially because I don't see Lashley losing clean. I think it's going to be real hard for him to really lose clean. And Eli Drake would be the perfect guy to come in and opportunistically win the world title. Especially with the Bound for Gold Gauntlet contract key, whatever he won last night. But cool to see Eli Drake win this. But you know, overall, I just thought it was a pretty good battle royal. But Rabbit, any thoughts on Eli Drake being your Gauntlet winner?
Dummy. Man, I normally don't like these type of battle royal joints, but this had it was well choreographed. It wasn't sloppy. It wasn't. Everybody was touching the right people they were supposed to be touching. So I don't know. It It went off. It came all right. I was good. I was glad to see Charles back in there after a while. And it wouldn't really have a storyline in it. Spud made the whole thing a storyline type thing. If you watched him through the match, you see a lot of storylines through him. But what really happened that should have happened, that I'm glad it happened, was when Grotto came out and then went back out. That's how they supposed to do him every night. You pay him part-time, let him come in, you throw him out the ring, and let him go back out before his music come on. You do him. That's perfect. I like that. That was perfect for him. I love that one.
This man just hates Grado. It's shameful. It's shameful. For shame.
He'll come in. As soon as he get it, I think he took 2 steps in the ring, he's back out again. His music is still playing. He went back out there.
That did have me cracking up though, because I don't know if you guys have ever did that in like an old WWE video game when they do the Royal Rumble and the emphasis play for a long time. But I used to do that all the time. I used to try to do that all the time, try to get people eliminated before their music stopped playing.
I stopped laughing, man. It was funny. Then Spud threw his fanny pack at him. It was funny as well. Yeah, I like that match though. It went all smooth. It wasn't no sloppy. It wasn't sloppy. And I like it. I like it. It was all right. But I like the fact that Jesse, and I like it was cool that Dummy went over. That was cool too. But I like Jesse. I need to see more Jesse and the guy named Dex. I think his name is Dex.
Oh yeah,
but yeah,
Dex.
Yeah, I want to see some more of him too. But other than that, it went all smooth.
All right, Casey, thoughts on the Bound for Gold Gauntlet match?
It was okay. It's all right. I do like that my boy Eli Drake did win. Eli Drake is you're gonna be your new champion. You watch. I don't know. When I think of a gauntlet match, I think of the old SmackDown video game gauntlet where you play as one character and you go through like superstars coming in the ring. You have to beat each one.
That good old slobber knocker mode. Slobber knocker.
They changed that mode so many times. It was like this was a gauntlet, then it was a slobber knocker, and but it was a good match. The only I don't like that that they have to give a week notice, week in advance notice. I think it would make it more exciting and like intense if you could just like the Money in the Bank briefcase, whatever. You just whenever you want to, you could do it that night. You can do it right after, the person's match, because that kind of it makes you want to tune into Impact. It makes you like, oh, he could do it tonight. He could do it tonight. You don't want to miss it, and it makes the champion kind of have to be on guard all the time. And especially it would be good with a guy like Lashley, who is such a monster. If you have that ability to get him off guard, it gives you that edge a little bit. But that's how they want to do it. That's how they want to do it. He's still gonna lose the title. He's going to. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Alrighty, next we had Moose going up against Mike Bennett. Moose had a cool entrance with the I think it was the champion from the local town, the high school football team, which is pretty cool.
It was the Patriots. That's why they were so bad. They didn't show up. They went to.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
But I definitely like that for his entrance. I thought it was pretty cool. Got the crowd into it. Yeah, obviously the crowd's always into the Moose thing, but it definitely jump started it a little bit. So I was excited about that. Only thing I didn't like about Mike Bennett's entrance tonight is he didn't come out with a fancy new jacket or something. I just think that's kind of his thing, the fancy sparkly jacket. But definitely a good match. You can tell that these guys have some sort of chemistry together. I just enjoy this match. I love when Moose did the F5 to the post. I thought that was amazing. I don't know. I just really like that. And then I like how kind of Mike Bennett had to kind of pull out some new moves too. He did that freaking dive to the outside, which he doesn't do much. He did a couple of other moves that I can't think of off the top of my head, but I just like what Mike Bennett was doing too in this match. But when Moose went for the crossbody, the spinning crossbody, and got caught with the cutter, that was beautiful. I thought that was amazing. Just a good match though. Just a really good match between two. I guess you could say young talents in TNA more than anything. But Mike Bennett is a freaking star. I don't care what Rabbit says. I don't care what Rabbit says about Miracle. I don't care. He's a star. And then Moose has been here like for a cup of coffee, as Adam Cole would say, and he is already feels like a star. And I think that just a testament to TNA's ability to push their newer talent. I just think just amazing. Just a good match. I just enjoyed it. Mike Bennett got beat, so I know Rabbit was hyped. So, but I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with Moose next, because we see what they're gonna do with Mike Bennett. But I wonder what they're gonna do with Moose next. I'm not too sure. But Rabbit, any thoughts on Mike Bennett? Your boy Mike Bennett. Sorry, I gotta put that out there. Your boy Mike Bennett going up against Moose.
Brother, I love his interest, man. He should do that all the time. I like the way he enters in. He don't need that many football players out there, but I like that. That was some new and different. I like that. It's slick. Like, you know me, man. When I don't like somebody, I don't like them, right? But if they do something, if they wrestling, man, I gotta give them credit when it's credit is due. You know what I'm saying? This was a nice match, man. First, I didn't really get a chance to see Moose too much. But in this match, I've seen him over a couple of weeks, but not fully in a match like in pay-per-view type stuff. So when I'm watching him, he ready to go. He nice. He had a bump on the stairs. He took a bump from Miracle. Miracle hit him with some power drivers in this match. It was nice stiff. It was nice pace. I
forgot about the power driver. That was.
I like this match right here. Even though he botched the joint when he tried to flip over the top rope, Miracle tried to flip over the top rope and hit that flow.
That's not his style. He was just like, I got to do this, but I can't do it, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Well, if he ain't do that, he had a nice match. Him and Moose. Moose had a nice match too. It was a good match. He did that snap joint into the ropes, snap Miracle into the ropes. He quick, agile for 6'6". I like him. I like this. This is a nice match. Nice pace. It was stiff. Other than that botch when he tried to flip over top, there was no botching. I like it. It was a nice, smooth match. One of the first matches I've seen Miracle that was just smooth, that I could watch, that it didn't remind me that I don't like him. You know what I'm saying? So it was smooth. I liked it. It was a good match.
All right, Casey, I got to remind you real quick before you start, because I don't know if you noticed it, but the pineapple is back. I remember Casey was marking out.
I love the pineapple. That was when he joined the boy club. That's when he.
But I'm trying to. I know you marked out for the pineapple.
I did.
But I don't know if you noticed on the back of his tights, the eye in Miracle, I'm pretty sure was a pineapple.
Oh, I hope so. I'm gonna have to look back. I really hope so. Oh, man. Good match though. I really liked it. I feel like as far as Moose, I feel like in Ring of Honor he was really over with the fans. They were doing the whole Moose thing in Ring of Honor. It came over to TNA. They knew it right when he debuted. It wasn't something that they had to kind of learn. Like the fans already knew the Moose thing. But I think he's kind of become that star. He was over already when he debuted with fans. he's just become more of a star. It was a great match, but in a way, I'm kind of glad that it's over, just so we can see them do different things. This was kind of a sort of a soft debut with them. Having them work together. They obviously were knew each other from Ring of Honor, so that's a safe way to kind of bring Moose in, with somebody that he's known from another company, but now he can go on and do something else. Hopefully, some point something with Lashley, because I really want to see that. And I'm excited for Cody Rhodes and Bennett. I'm really excited for that.
Alrighty.
Well, Cody Rhodes, you seen him wrestle, right?
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We both seen him in WWE.
Again, see, I like talking to y'all because, again, I'm not more of like a casual fan anyway, because I just watch TNA, right? So when people come in, you guys know him. You've seen him, you know what I'm saying? You know with their style and stuff. So what is he, ground pound, or what is he? He gonna fly around, or what are you gonna do?
He's pretty technical. I know with that.
Yeah. He's I would say almost more kind of traditional, good technical work, good kind of. He's not like a Daniel Bryan where he's really good with like fundamentals, but he's. I mean, I could just say he's Dusty Rhodes' son, so he's obviously good. How would you describe him, DJ?
Yeah, like you did with the whole. He's pretty traditional. I think he can fly around. It's not necessarily his game. Like the kick he did on Miracle Later. That's like one of his signature moves. I think it might even be his finisher in TNA. I'm not sure from the way they did it tonight, but that's one of the kind of the springboards that he does. I think he has the ability to fly around, but I don't think he does. I don't know if he. He might do more of it in TNA, but I don't remember seeing him do a lot of high flying when he was in WWE.
Do you think he's going to X Division, or he's not on the last level, so I don't know if he's going to be going the Grand Championship.
I don't know if he's going. I don't know if he's going to X Division. I could see him going for the Grand Championship. I don't know. I could see him going for the Grand Championship, especially to start out. But I guess it just kind of depends on how they do it. Because even
I see him eventually, doing something like doing a feud with EC3 or something, and eventually making it to the world title picture.
He's gonna feud with Rex more than anything. I think they're gonna put him together more than likely, but I can see him feuding too.
Yeah, I could see them putting them in a team together and then having them feud, or vice versa.
So the girl that was with who's that?
That's his wife, and we don't know if she can wrestle because I don't. I've never seen her. She was a ring announcer for WWE, but I don't. Casey, I don't know if you've seen her wrestle before. I've never seen her.
I think she was trained to wrestle, but I think she's like one of the ones that WWE never debuted or just had, kind of like JoJo. But
hey, you shut your mouth when you talk about my girl. She can wrestle fine.
Yeah, that one match she had.
It was the match of the year. So I'm protective over my women's.
She had like one move in that match.
Shut up. Anyway, let's move to the Grand Championship match. Aaron Rex versus Eddie Edwards. I enjoyed this match too. I don't think the round system plays as much of a role as people will say it does, because a lot of times they don't do much during the round system. Like it's not like they're like I don't feel like they just sit in the corner and we just look at them through the whole time. Like, you know, what you're thinking, you know, how you gonna react. Like they show the replays and everything, and I think that makes it just feel like they're just like I said before, they're just kind of down on the ground, or you know, it took a big move on the outside or something. So I mean, I don't think the round system plays as much of a role as everybody else feels like it does. But I enjoyed the match, and like I said on the Wrestle Talk Media review we did last night, I feel like this style of match didn't really change either one of these guys' styles. They kind of just did their own, you know, they kind of just did their own thing. They were aggressive, they were physical, and they gained control in their own way. But I definitely enjoyed it. What really got me in this match was when Aaron Rex started working the leg. Started to remember why I love Aaron Rex. I just enjoyed it. The first move he hit in the corner to start working the leg, and then as he continued to work the leg throughout, to not only slow down Eddie Edwards, but you know, potentially set up for a submission and gain that control that he needed for this style of match. I just thought it was really good. This was the first Grand Championship match of this stipulation that actually went the distance, and Aaron Rex ended up winning, you know, via split decision. But I just enjoyed the match overall. I just thought it was good. I didn't think, you know, that I just didn't, you know, there wasn't a lot of like changes to be made in this match. I just thought it was a good match. They both did their similar moves, but every once in a while, obviously, they had to kind of either come back in the round, or they heard the 10-second clock and they started to be a little bit more physical than they would be. I like how they ended this match too, with both of them just going back and forth, and they had to break them up. I just thought that was just a good little like competitive sign for the Grand Championship. But overall, I've enjoyed the Grand Championship matches. I do like it better when there's more time, because with this one there was 3 5-minute rounds, so it was a 15-minute match in total. I just like for it to be a little bit longer. I think they just have a little bit more time. Even if they made the rounds 4, and then it'd be like a 12-minute type of a match, I think that would be better. I just think 9 minutes isn't long enough. I don't think 3 minutes a round is long enough to really see. But I do like it though. Only thing, like we've said before, I just want to kind of hear from the judges, or see the judges, or know who the judges are in some form or fashion. I wouldn't even be opposed to them having a microphone or being mic'd up and kind of talking through the match with, you know, hand in hand with the commentary, kind of just letting us know what they're judging on exactly. But Rabbit, thoughts on the Grand Championship match?
I love this match right here, man. And I'm starting to see the picture when we first learned about this type of match. It is what I was thinking it was going to be. First of all, you need stamina in these matches. I wouldn't even be surprised if sooner or later they had people in the corners doing something, either getting some spraying water on them or some old fake stuff like that. I'm telling you. Because once they get in, I think one round use as much energy as almost a full round of a bunch of nonsense. Because they got to be aggressive. They constantly moving. And you could tell at the end of each round that they shot. I mean, you got to have stamina. By the time you get to that third round, man, to even look like you making, you know what I'm saying, crisp moves. So in order to even be making crisp moves by the third round, you got to be good, man. This is a good match, man. And when people get in these matches right here, you're going to have to have stamina, because you're going to start botching by the middle of the second, going through third round, if you ain't in shape. And I'm disappointed that Rex won. I like his persona. I like the way he come across on the mic and everything. But now that I've seen him in the ring, he kind of just like a bland type wrestler who can he's like an old school wrestler, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not special where he should be winning. He shouldn't have won this match, to be honest with you. But the fact that, I guess, since Eddie Edwards had to come in at the last minute, I'm thinking that's why. But other than that, I don't think now I'm thinking he's going to take the heel route, because you're not trying to order to start hurting somebody and try to injure their leg, you're going to heel. So something fishy going on with him, and I'm thinking with one of these judges, to be honest with you, because this was so close. I think Eddie Edwards won it because I mean I gave him the first round easily, and I say Rex might have won the second round, but that last round, Edwards at the end came on strong, and he dominated more of that round. So, and then yeah, you're right. When you say the judge got to be more of a focus. It got to be. You can't just be somebody in the bushes somewhere where we don't know. We trying. You know what I'm saying? What the hell? That ain't gonna work. You got to bring somebody out. Because to me, I think Rex is something going on with him, Hillish, and with these judges. So that's why he gonna end up keeping his belt extremely long because one of these judges are trying to take. That's what my feeling is. That's how I feel. But the third round. He was real aggressive, but I think Edwards won it, to be honest with you. But I guess since my man got hurt and he had to drop in so quick, they went on with Rex. But I'm thinking some type of healer's thing going on in here. Cause my man chopped him.
It did feel kind of heel. It did like when I was watching it, I was kind of caught off guard by it because it did feel kind of heelish. Just working the leg in general. Just kind of felt kind of heelish. I felt the same way. I wish Drew Galloway could have been in this match though, because like I felt like it was made a little bit. There was too much. It was too predictable when Eddie Edwards was kind of just thrown in there, just because Aaron Rex was the new guy, but still, if they wanted to, they could have definitely gave Drew the title and him win by split decision, and we still don't know what the split decision is. We don't know what exactly they're judging on, and that builds heel heat on him immediately.
Yeah, but it was good. I liked it. It was nice, man. The whole setup, I like it. I like the whole thing. When Eddie Edwards came off that top rope with the 2 feet, dropped him. I mean, he was nice. I liked the match. It was a nice match. All three of them.
Alrighty. Casey, thoughts on the Grand Championship match?
Good match. I feel the exact opposite. I think, to me, Eddie Edwards is more bland than Aaron Rex is. And I kind of hope they're making him more heel, because I think I think Aaron Rex, Damian Sandow, whatever, works better as a heel. His original heel run in WWE was great. I just think he's one of those guys that it feels like he's better as a heel. I think, especially, he doesn't have to go necessarily exactly with the intellectual savior of the masses, but put a little bit of that into his character, like that kind of I'm better than you, I'm smarter than you sort of a thing. And I think he would be a great heel. But I'm definitely, I like that he won the title. I'm just, it's kind of how they build up the title now. It's kind of in TNA's hands a little bit, and, creative's hands, to how they book it, how, what they do with it. Because we've seen, especially in TNA, we've seen many new titles come in, and they have they start off real hot and then they get retired a month later. Hashtag back the King of the Mountain title. Bring it back.
When I say bland, I'm talking pure wrestling. I ain't talking about character-wise and talking about my ability, like your wrestling format, your style. His style is just a bland style, just a normal. He has to be here because you're not gonna see anything special from him as far as wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Edwards, you can see stuff special from him in a match. You know what I'm saying? Something like, God dang. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get that from him. He's just a bland on the mat wrestler. He's not gonna do anything that you like. God, he's not gonna be no chain wrestler. He's not gonna fly around. It's just blank. He's just a normal wrestler. And he out of shape, you know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why I don't know why he won this match. because he out of shape. He was almost out of it in the third round. But as far as his wrestling, it just format, his style, it's just bland. It's nothing special. You know what I'm saying? So his mic was gonna have to carry him. His persona and his personality gonna have to carry him if he's gonna be anything. You know, and he might have to go here because I don't see it in his wrestling to carry him as a face.
All right, let's move on to the Hall of Fame ceremony. I think that's what was next. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know it was in this area somewhere. We got the Hall of Fame ceremony, and we had had appearances from Christy Hemme, Taryn Terrell, and Awesome Kong. Now, Awesome Kong caught me really off guard, cause like she didn't have the hair anymore. I was like, hold up now, who is this? And obviously she had lost some weight too, and I was like, man, I don't know what it is about her going away. Every time she goes away from wrestling, she loses weight. I think it's just like the Awesome Kong persona that she has to, like, I guess she has to like bulk up for it or whatever. But every time she goes away from wrestling, she loses weight, I feel like. But I thought this was a great ceremony. The video package was really good. I liked it. I liked that it kind of showed her history, and I like that we kind of got to hear from the rest of the talent. Obviously, Gail Kim deserves it. It's, like one of the best female wrestlers of this generation, if not of all time. She definitely deserves it. She's pioneered the knockouts division for TNA, so just makes a lot of sense for her to be in this. In this particular place, but I just thought it was really cool to see like some of the old knockouts come out, and kind of indulge her a little bit and kind of be that support system. I just thought that was pretty cool. But Rabbit, any thoughts on the Hall of Fame ceremony?
Yeah, this was a good ceremony, man. And I was in love when my girl came down there, Taryn Terrell. I love my baby. Look like she's pregnant too. Damn,
she is.
Her Kong, just think about last year, all of them was in the ring with man, my mistake. Wow. But yeah, this is a good, I love this, man. This is a nice little joint for her, man. She had all her rivals that she rivaled with and stuff, and who she mentored and stuff, man. I liked it, man. This was nice for her, man. She had a husband out there. This is a good thing for her, man. She deserves that, man. The crowd kept screaming, you deserve that. You deserve it. She do, man. She really do. She deserves everything for that, man. To my mind, one of the best. She is the best professional women's wrestler ever. Now, there's been a lot of good women wrestlers that do certain things and good at that. Some of them way better on the mic, you know what I'm saying? Some of them can pure mat wrestle better than her. But overall, wrestling, in the ring, flying around, taking bumps, taking risks, she is top-notch, head above, and shoulder of any woman, wrestler, whoever wrestles, period. She'll put her body on the line, period. And then she carries all matches that she in. Okay, who wrestling with her, she gonna make you look good. And that, to me, is a sign of a bona fide professional wrestler. And then another thing is, she loves professional wrestling. See, that's another thing you got watching these people. Do they love professional wrestling, or do they want to be an entertainer? She want to be a professional wrestler, and then you see it when she walk in the ring. In every match, you can't find a match when she looks slouching, or the match is just not. How many people in the ring with her? She bring them all up, and you got to get credit when someone is this good and take this much, this much to be what she is, to be as good as she is, man. You got to give her credit and bow down to her. She's not one of the best, because nobody you can name has worked harder than her over amount of years as her in women's professional wrestling, period. So it's not one of, she is the best, period, whoever lived. When women go into wrestling camps, this is the person they need to be looking at tape of, period. This is who they need to be trying to market themselves after and try to find out what made her good. Because you can't, it's not a move in wrestling she can't do, and ain't nothing she won't try. And I give her big ups, man. She's one of the best wrestlers I ever seen, period, as far as men and women. And she's just the best women's wrestler ever. That's just me.
Definitely agree. Casey?
I liked it. I was a little bit confused with Christy Hemme. I didn't remember her having a feud with her. I know obviously she's had many feuds and matches with Awesome Kong. She had feuds with Terrence Terrell. I just didn't remember anything specifically with Christy Hemme, so I was like,
I don't think she did. I just think she ring announced a lot of her matches, so they just brought her back for that.
Yeah. But you know, it's definitely, you know, I like that they did this, you know, obviously that she was the first female to go into the TNA Hall of Fame. She definitely deserves it. The one thing I really like about TNA's Hall of Fame in general is it feels, not just with Gail Kim, but with all of them, it feels that much more important and special because there's only one going in. It's not like WWE where you have a whole class going in where, you know, you kind of your favorite wrestler might not feel as important in that class. You know, it's her night. It's, you know, it's her induction. It's not her induction with, you know, so-and-so and another person. It's, you know, it's just that one person, which is really cool. It was just a really cool thing to see. I'm wondering what's next for her. Kind of, we'll get to a little bit more of that in the match, but and me and DJ talked about it a little bit in our video earlier, but we'll talk about it again. Definitely a good ceremony for her.
All right, let's get to a very special match. A match that I said when we did the video just on this match, what I am going to call, unless something outdoes it for me, the match of the year. We got the Great War. We got the Hardys versus the Decay for the TNA Tag Team Championships of the world. I just loved this match. There was so many components to it. And for TNA to take the time to you know, pre-record some of it and, you know, throw that into the live show, I just thought was amazing and a testament to how hard they work to like allow the fans to enjoy, you know, what the fans enjoy. And I was really like just in kind of shock at how much work they put into this. Because I don't, by the accounts that I've watched, as far as wrestling is concerned, I don't remember anyone really trying to mix pre-recorded and live in the same match. Like it's just something that I've never personally seen before, and if I do, I don't remember it, so that's not a good thing. I just feel like, you know, I just loved everything about this match. I love how the entrances to start out, especially the Hardy's entrance, how they came out there and they sang Obsolete. I thought that was amazing. How Rebby Hardy played Matt Hardy's theme song on the piano. That was freaking amazing. And, you know, I just like how, you know, Obsolete, Delete, Obsolete. I love that too. I love how they just get the crowd going with that. And then the K came out probably, you know, slightly less than over than they are, but still pretty over on the Decay. And this was just a fun match to watch. I love seeing Willow come back. I you know, like I have always said, I kind of mark out for Willow. Always loved Willow. Always will love Willow. We also saw another Jeff Hardy personality, which is called Itchweed. If you don't know who Itchweed is, you might want to look it up. I had to look it up. He was the one with the goggles that came out as Jeff Hardy when we were like, what is that? That was Itchweed. It's another Jeff Hardy personality. if you get a chance to rewatch it and kind of just listen to what he was saying, it was just hilarious. I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but it was just hilarious to watch. I love how they took this match, it being the Great War, it being a big match, it being built up the way it was. I love how they took it outside of the Impact Zone. And they even had the Universal Studios sign right there. I thought that was pretty cool to kind of have them shooting stuff out, outside the arena, which is something you don't see every day in wrestling anymore, or every year, or at any point in wrestling. It feels like at times. It was just really cool. I laughed at the guy who jumped out of the truck and was like, "I'm Team Delete," and was trying to take on Rosemary. I was cracking up at him. I just thought it was really, it was just really funny. I just enjoyed the match overall. Then they brought it back to the ring and they did all the necessary hardcore spots, barbed wire boards, thumbtacks, tables, ridiculously large ladders. Everything they could find, they probably used it. I just enjoyed the match. The Hardys won the titles, as they should, but it kind of begs the question, what's going to happen with the Decay? Because I still think the Decay have a lot. I think they have a lot more time to kind of keep going with what they're doing, because I really like the Decay. And Abyss, he's got to stay beautiful. So we got to keep that going. So if we don't keep that going, then Decay was a waste without Abyss being beautiful. It just how it is. But I enjoyed this match. Probably match of the year, no doubt, for me, in my opinion. When the ICWP Slammies come out, match of the year will be this match. It's just going to be. But Rabbit, thoughts on the Great War?
I love the way they came out too when my man seen the I called myself as obsolete. Everybody was like obsolete. I love this because they built this up for I don't know how many months, man, where every little thing everybody knows. Like, we know the name of the drone, we know the name of his helper, Benjamin, we know the compound, we know, it's like characters now where they built it up so nice. This whole thing. Like what I was telling y'all before, this had wrestling in it, where this will make you love it, where things are happening, but it's also wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I love this right here, man. This thing was over the top. This was over the top, man. I'm talking, stuff was just happening. This was crazy, man. We had Rosemary going through a table. Shorty put her through a table like she did the other week. Put her slam through the table. You had my man choke Crazy Steve and choke slam on top of my man, on top of Hardy. Hardy had a nice little side slam in the ring too, man. Oh my goodness. Then they get to the back. You got Willow back there tripping. He pops up. Then he bring my man back to the ring. It just over the top was going on. Then some Bama jump up with some goggles on. He throwing tomatoes or something at people. He was over the top. I was like, what the? Then they back there wrestling with my man, when the K was in the back with the, my man here with the staple in the head, click, stapling his head up. Then they went in the back, my man suplexed him on a ramp. I was like, oh my God, this is what I'm talking about. When you have all this stuff going on, but it's still wrestling, then you got something, Slim. Man, I don't know what to say. This was over the top vicious, yeah? I love it. Matt was Matt as usual in it. Rosemary was nice and she had come in when she needed to be. This was nice. You had the drone flying around spitting stuff out. This I mean, you had my man pull out Janet. That was on fire. Yeah, Janet's on fire. My man said, Janet's hot tonight. Oh my God. Hey man. That's entertainment, man, right there. Entertainment with professional wrestling was over the top, man. Had a suplex on the ramp was vicious, man. This was too, I don't know, what do you call that song you said he was? With the goggles? He was talking stuff. It was funny. And I don't know, he's pulling out stuff out of the bag and just hitting people with the joints, man. Oh, man. Stop, man. And my man Steve, Crazy Steve, he was getting his man too in this joint too, son. That joint was over the top, man. I love this match, man. I love the fact they got the belts too. It's about time they got it because they're supposed to get when my man got hurt. then they revamped themselves to they deserve to be titles. I love it. I want to see how they do the title runs for real. I don't even want to wrestle Decay no more. I want Decay to start harassing other people or something, man. But I love this match. I love it, man. It was entertaining. I just love the drone flying around. Yeah, my man jumping out the car. What that was. I'm looking at him. He's screaming, delete, delete, and all that. I'm like, oh my God, this is over the top. I'm trying to figure out who that was. He just jumped out the car, out the blue. Rosemary punished him, threw him up in the bushes. That joke was funny, man. I love it, dog. I love it. Steve, Crazy Steve, my man, with one of them vicious clotheslines too. Oh my God. So I love this song. I love it. I don't even know what else to say, but I love it. And then when my man stapled my man in the head, he stapled him right in the middle of the ring, right in his forehead. That was funny. I love that shit. I love it, dog.
I like the we got to see the coast to coast again. I thought that was pretty cool by Rosemary when she hit the coast to coast on him. I thought that was pretty cool. Casey, thoughts on the Great War?
It's to the point where I love anything that they do, anything, because it's gold. Anything that they do is just whatever comes out of their crazy mind to do, it's amazing. I know when this whole thing first started, we kind of weren't sure, and then the final deletion we weren't sure, and since then it's been amazing. So I hope they continue doing stuff like this with whoever they feud for or feud with for the titles, whoever they defend against. I want to see stuff like this, with them from now on. And as for the Decay, I hope they keep the Decay together. I hope they kind of start feuding with other people, because that's definitely, these are two sort of factions that I don't think at this point TNA can really afford to break up or get rid of, because they're so over. Both of them are so over. I mean, obviously Brother Nero and Broken Matt are more over, but the Decay is still really over. I don't think they've really scratched the surface of kind of what they can do with them. We're still waiting for Bram, because we ain't seen him in a while.
I thought he was gonna come back in this.
Yeah, I mean, they could do something with that. As for the match, it was great. It was fun. You weren't sure what was going to happen next. I personally think other companies should kind of adopt, especially in bigger matches, longer matches, sort of no holds barred extreme matches, this kind of pre-taped backstage segments, just because. But like I said, when we did our video kind of talking about the title changes, it gives, the wrestlers a chance to, take like a 5-minute break or whatever, get some water. You can play that pre-recorded video, and they kind of get a little bit of a breather, especially for guys like, the Hardys, who are, even though Jeff will still, jump off of 20-30 foot ladders and do crazy stuff, the fact is they're in their late 30s or 40s or whatever. They probably could have definitely used that little bit of a break they had while that the pre-recorded video was being played, which is definitely a good thing. It kind of also helps reduce the risk of guys getting hurt in a long match. But then you can only do that, unfortunately, with like a no holds barred match or a false count anywhere match, which unfortunately with WWE they don't do anymore. So that's kind of out of the question with that. But I definitely like that TNA does that. It's something unique. And to a casual fan or a fan who doesn't read rumors and these wrestling sites, they might not have realized that that stuff was pre-recorded.
Yeah, it was just cool to watch.
Which is a good thing. You know what I mean? You don't want them to know that it was pre-recorded.
Yeah, I just thought it was just really cool. I just thought it just was. It wasn't. It was just like cool to watch. I always like when people pop up in weird places, like Willow just comes out of nowhere. Willow is my favorite. He might be my favorite of all time. He might be my favorite of all time. My favorite Jeff Hardy personality of all time. He might just be. But I have Gail Kim versus Maria for the Knockouts Championship. My only gripe about this is that it wasn't as long as it could have been. I love how Maria tried to come out and like act like her vein was still broken and she wasn't cleared, and Allie was like, I have some good news. I have some good news. You're fine. You're cleared to wrestle. And Maria was so mad. It was hilarious. And then, this match I thought it was a pretty good match. Typical Maria being a heel. But I just thought it was funny that when Allie tried to throw in the arm brace to kind of get Maria to finish Gail Kim off, she overshot it and Gail Kim caught it. I just thought that was funny. And Gail Kim ends up winning with the defeat. But I just thought this match could have been a little bit longer. That was my only thing. It was only 5 minutes around about. I just thought it could have been a little bit longer for these two that have been feuding for a long time, it feels like now. And Gail Kim finally gets her hands on her. So I just thought could have been a little bit longer. But, not necessarily a bad match. Just I don't think it lived up to the potential that it was kind of built as. But Rabbit, thoughts on the Knockouts title match?
This match is horrible, terrible. Shorty is both green as the outfit she had on. First of all, it was like Gail Kim was in a pillow. This how this match was. That's how terrible Shorty was. No, that's why I was so short. She can't wrestle. Period. That they did what they supposed to do. Hurry up and get that thing to Gail Kim because it was terrible. She shouldn't have had her hands on it anyway. First of all, she greener than Shorty. Besides that, acting like she green. It's terrible. No. Right thing happened, so that's it for that. Champion is who's supposed to be champion, 6-time champion. There's no rematches with her. There's no time to be wasting time with her no more. You get Queen Bee in here. You get my girl Jade, and they start getting some vicious matches going. When it's women's division. Leave these girls alone, these entertainment girls, like Shaw. There's enough of that. Let's get back into this ring with her, Jade, and some matches. Her and Queen Bee and some matches. Let's get that thing popping, man. That's what I want to see. But this match right here was terrible. It's just a match just to give Gail Kim the belt back. It was like Gail Kim and a pillow off the couch all night. That's terrible.
But she is Maria Kanellis Bennett, the first lady of professional wrestling.
A pillow in it.
Casey, do you have any thoughts on the Knockouts title match?
It was okay. I still want. I wish it was Allie, not as the.
You mispronounced it.
I'm sorry. I wish it was Allie.
There we go. I know her.
But not as the, bimbo can't wrestle, because we know she can wrestle. I wish it was her in this match against Gail Kim, because I think that would have been a really good match. I don't think Maria's horrible. I just don't think it feels like she hasn't really wrestled in a long time. I don't even know if she really wrestled with Women of Honor. which is Ring of Honor's sort of women's division. But I've seen some of her older matches in WWE, and she wasn't horrible. She still had that kind of bimbo sort of character back then, but I didn't think she was horrible. I just think she hasn't really wrestled that much. It doesn't feel like, unless she's been having matches on the indies, which I haven't seen. Yeah, I wish they kept the belt on Allie, or had something. They got to do something with Allie where she kind of, because it's, I don't really know how far they can really go with it. I want to see her eventually get into the title picture, but definitely, it's good that Gail Kim got the title. She can do some good stuff with Jade again, and then have some other knockouts come in and have matches too. I just want to see some more development with some of their other knockouts, because it feels like we haven't seen many that we haven't seen. We've seen Madison Rayne randomly. It feels like. Other than that, we really haven't seen. It doesn't feel like a lot.
I'm kind of surprised we didn't get Jade and Marty Bell tonight.
Yeah. I didn't even.
Because I would have loved seeing Marty Bell one more time. Sorry. Also, let's talk about Maria's tights, because they are out of control. They are out of control.
Right. That they do have to find a reason to keep her on the screen, but out the ring.
I think she should just wear the tights. I think, when she's out there, Mike Bennett, just wear the tights. That's what she did when she was in Ring of Honor. It's a distraction. That's what it's supposed to be, I guess. But anyway, let's jump into the main event of the evening. We had the TNA World Heavyweight Championship match. No holds barred, by the way. Lashley versus EC3. I came into this match thinking EC3 was going to win. Now, I kind of wanted Lashley to win, because I didn't want to see the Lashley his reign come to an end, because I liked it, because I was really enjoying it. But for some reason, I just felt like EC3 was going to win. I was like, it's bound for glory. They're going to have this title change here. It's going to happen. They've been building EC3 up as kind of the guy again, from a face perspective. So I was like, okay, EC3 is going to win this match. And then Lashley shocked me and won this match. But this match was, just a really good match. I just enjoyed it. I love Lashley. The man is just ridiculous. Has to be a candidate for Superstar of the Year. Just has to be. He's good. The man is just good. He's the real deal. We talked about this last night too. He is the real deal as a champion. He looks like a champion. He acts like a champion. He wrestles like a champion. He wins like a champion. The man's just good. I don't care what anyone says. You can pull up his WWE stuff all you want to. This man never even sniffed this potential. He never even sniffed this potential that we're seeing right now. The man is a destroyer. And ever since MVP told me that he was a destroyer, the man has been out of control. I've just enjoyed his last two title runs, but this one has just been over the top for me. And he beat EC3, which doesn't happen a lot. He beat EC3, and it was just a good match. I thought EC3 was going to pull it out somehow, some way, but Lashley with that spear from the top, the middle turnbuckle, I was like, how did this man spin out of that spear? Usually when he does a spear, he spins out of it. He kind of flips out of it when he does his spear, but he flipped out of it from the middle turnbuckle, and I was like, this man, he is the true world champion. I think Lashley is the best world champion. I think he is the ultimate world champion in wrestling right now. Bobby Lashley, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that nobody else clapped. All right, Dan, that's cool. I heard it. It was the crowd that was clapping. I just started it. But anyway, match. Just a good match. The chair shots were brutal. Even though they were to the back, they were still real stiff chair shots. I felt like I was crying a little bit for my boy EC3, but just a good match. Rabbit, thoughts on Lashley versus EC3? I know you're gonna say I told you so. I know.
Yeah, exactly. But again, another person, I don't really like this. This was a good match, man. It was nice pace again. Nice pace for these two. I mean, it wasn't on the level of a Lashley Rude. But this was a good match, man. This was nice. EC3 looked good in this match, man. He had some nice chops on Lashley, man. He had some nice drop kicks, counters, and all that, man. He did that TK3 thing he was doing, man. So
what about that spear at the beginning, though? That spear at the beginning had me going. I was like, "Oh snap!" I was not expecting him to hit a spear on him before he even got his name introduced.
But I don't know. EC3 hit him with that sit-side slam joint too. That was nice. So, but again, that beast monster, that animal that is Lashley. This Bauer is the ultimate professional wrestler, man. This is the kind of wrestler that McMahon used to always love to promote. This guy right here that can walk in an MMA joint, knock somebody out, choke them out, then walk back in a professional wrestling joint and spit somebody out their boots. This guy was a beast. He speared his brother off the top ropes, man. Speared about his boots off the top rope. Oh my goodness. He has nice neck breakers too in his joint. Spears all over the place, man. But it was a good match, even though EC3 gave his best, man. I give EC3 a lot of credit in this match, man. It was a good match, toe to toe with the beast, the monster, the animal that is Lashley. That is the most realistic wrestler in professional wrestling today. So that's why he has the belt. So he can walk over in any other promotion and choke out whoever act like they want to be the champion. You see what I'm saying? This is what I like. That's why you go back to those promos they've been hitting, talking about any promotion, and you need somebody to carry the belt that can defend TNA. This is what he's talking about, man. He live it. He living it in the ring, and then when he get out, go in MMA and keep on living it. So his goal is to hold both belts at all the same time. Nobody ever done that.
And I really hope that if, and I don't know when he's going to have the MMA, the Bellator belt, but I hope he brings out both of them on TNA. That would be the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
He already trained with the TNA belt already. So when they talking to him in the MMA, like when they talking to him, interviewing him in MMA, he got the belt on him. Now he shows it in MMA, but I don't think they let him take the belt and bring it to a wrestling promotion. I don't know if they'll let them do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that'd be good if he can carry both of those on at the same time. That's his goal. And I gotta give a lot of credit to the Pope in this match right here, man. He called a nice match in this match right here. He called every move. He was precise on everything that was happening. He was telling a little story. I gotta give Pope credit on this one match right here. He did a good job in this match. This whole thing, this match, the commentary, everything was just tight. It wasn't no botching. I love it. It was nice, slow pace, and EC3 got in his shot, and Lashley's just a beast, a monster, an animal. This is the bottom line of that. So he did his best. So it was a good match, though, man. It was a good match. I hands up. I give credit to both of them. I already knew Lashley was going to do that, but I give credit to EC3, man. It was a good match on his side, too.
All right. Casey, thoughts on the main event of the evening?
DJ, I get it. I get it now. You're drinking the Kool-Aid. Anything MVP tells you, you listen because he's your hero. I get it. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna tweet MVP. And I'm gonna tell him to tell you that Michael Tarver is the greatest of all time. Hold on. 1 second.
The issue is though the MVP he speak the truth. He speaks the truth.
Yeah, but he would be speaking the truth. He would. He would.
That's why Michael Tarver can't find a job. That's why, because he's the best.
Because he doesn't need the job. Because he is just the man. He works for Jesus right now. That's what he's doing. He is doing the Lord's work because he's a good man.
He's not the best person in the last decade. He's vicious. He brought some vicious promos when he was in TNA. Vicious joint. He one of the best promo joints out there. He's a cold beat.
And Rabbit, let this man know that the BDC was amazing.
Oh man,
I mean, it was good for Caval, just kind of or
Caval, really, really,
or Loki spelled differently, or this man had like 12 different names. I'm just saying, it was good for him. It was coming out of nowhere. That was good, you know. Just
the BDC was real though. That's what I liked about the BDC. It was real. It was legit.
Yeah. And then, until Joe just left.
Oh, Loki. He's a monster animal too. Loki, a beast. One of my top 10 of all time. This guy was a cold monster.
I miss Loki.
His stuff was everywhere. That guy was a cold beast in man. I love Loki too. That whole BDC joint. Him and Loki back will be vicious. They didn't got put Lashley back in. They pick somebody else. That'll be vicious. I love BDC. That was one of my favorite joints in NWO. For real. I love BDC.
All right, Casey, thoughts on the main event of the evening?
I wanted a title change. I did. I wanted it. I wanted a title change.
You didn't get it. So
you wanted it too. Don't even lie. You wanted it.
I might have wanted it because I just like EC3. I've liked EC3 since he was the hardcore American icon, which he still should be. Because he could have been the hardcore American icon destroyer. I mean, it could have happened. It could have happened. But
I like what he did.
I want to see him win again, and I kind of want to see him do a face run with the title. That would be interesting to see. But it was definitely a good match. I'm wondering what they're gonna do next. Both of these guys. I want to see who Lashley feuds with next, and I want to see what they do with EC3.
Well, we gotta have a Lashley versus Moose feud over the world title. Like it has to happen. There's no way they don't do that.
If we don't, I'm done.
There's no way they don't do that. But overall, just a good show. I just enjoyed it. I just thought it was just a really good show. But that's your Bound for Glory 2016 review. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at ICW_podcast. Almost forgot my own Twitter when I'm looking right at it. Follow us on Twitter at ICW_podcast. Follow Rabbit at Rabbit313, I think, right?
D Jones, yeah, 313.
313. Got it. And that's about it. We got predictions for No Mercy or however
Mercy,
whatever, yeah, however Marie says it. For that coming up. But other than that, we'll see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed.